Today's series will be talking about the differences in beliefs of the afterlife according to the different religions. As we all know, we live in a multiracial and multi-religious society, so we should try to understand the differences in beliefs so as to better appreciate each other's culture. For Buddhists, they actually believe in a cycle which is called samsara. So this cycle consists of three stages: birth, death, and then rebirth. So they believe that our souls actually upon death will get separated from the physical body, and the souls will go through rebirth an infinite number of times until they reach the state of nirvana. So what is nirvana? Nirvana is a state where they really see things as it really is. So in Chinese terms, it will be like 看透了. And Buddhism actually hold on to the belief that nothing is ever permanent. And so when the souls get reincarnated, meaning when rebirth happens, it will be according to one's karma, which is the accumulation of the good deeds or the bad deeds that have happened. So rebirth will be into any of the 6 realms. There are 6 realms that they can be rebirthed into. So there are 3 good realms and 3 not so good realms. So the 3 good realms are heavenly, demigods, and humans. While the 3 not so good realms will be animal, ghosts, and hellish realms. And upon achieving nirvana, it is believed that the enlightened person, or rather the enlightened individual, physically dies without getting reborn. Taoism is very similar to Buddhism. In fact, if you look at today's funerals, the main difference between a Taoist and Buddhist funeral is that for a Taoist funeral, they burn paper products. However, in today's contemporary culture, more often than not, both religions are mixed. So we do see Buddhist funerals having burnt paper products as well. And this is totally fine as long as it suits the different families' needs and preferences. Taoism believes in living in harmony with the Tao. What is the Tao? The Tao is the natural order of the universe, which can be only attained by someone who is wise. So if you're not wise, you wouldn't be able to achieve the Tao. And it is also believed that when one passes on in the Taoist culture, there will be 2 mythical creatures called Niu, Tou, Ma Mian. They escort you to the underworld. And Niu, Tou, Ma Mian basically means that it has the head of a cow and the face of a horse. So legend has it that there are 36 levels of heavens and hells and 10 palace halls in hell. So the entry gate to hell, right, is actually located in the first palace hall. And in the first palace hall, people who have done extremely good works in this current life and accumulated good karma, they will be protected and escorted to pass through hell and sent to heaven. Those who have only done some kind deeds and charitable works, however, will be sent to the 10th palace of hell, which is the last level, to await for rebirth. Those who have been evil in their lives would have a really huge mirror placed in front of them where they would have whatever evil deeds that they have done replayed back on the mirror. So they have to witness all the evil that they have done before they would be escorted to the 2nd palace hall in hell, and they would have their punishment being met. Even if you watch like Chinese movies on Channel 8, I don't know if now you guys get to see it, but in my era, we do see dramas being played where in the underworld, the souls will be asked to pass this bridge called Nai He Qiao, and then they will drink this soup called Meng Po Tang, where they forget everything, and this is where then they will proceed on to get reborn. So the Christian faith, right, it is very common to hear people to say like, oh, blah 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 has gone home to be with the Lord. So what does this exactly mean? So for Christians, we believe that when someone passes on, it is just the passing on of the physical body, meaning only the physical body dies, but the soul does not die. The soul, however, goes on to heaven to reunite with Christ. This is also where all the other souls that have passed on previously would be. We always say to people who have passed on, like, see you again in heaven. Of course, whether you go to heaven would really depend on your faith. When you are alive, whether you really believed in Christ or not. Those who do not then would also be banished to hell, where they would have their punishment. So we will hear about the fires in hell that is being also written in the Bible. So this is what they mean by that. The Catholic faith is very similar to Christian. The difference, however, is that for Catholics, they believe in an intermediate phase that happens after someone dies. There are some who will go directly into heaven. However, there will also be some who needs to go through this intermediate phase called purgatory. So what happens in purgatory is that they need to be cleansed first of their sins before they will be holy enough to enter the gates of heaven. That's why in Catholics, right, we often hear people praying for the dead because we want them to achieve this cleansing of sins and purification so that they can go to heaven. In Buddhist and Taoist funerals, the theme, right, is often very mournful, very sad. But in Christian and Catholics, right, the theme is more joyous because they always believe that the death is not an end in itself, but death is just a transitory state where they will go on to reunite with Christ. So it is this joy that they have, right, in the afterlife that makes them be more willing to do the funerals as a celebration of life rather than be mournful, be in heavy grief over it. So if we really understand the differences in culture, then we will also understand the different attitudes that people have for the different funerals that has different religions. So that was a brief account of all the different religions, beliefs of the afterlife. And through this, I hope that we'll be able to learn, respect, and then live in harmony with the different religions. Of course, I'm not asking you to compromise your religion, but when we know the differences, then we are better able to accommodate the different religions as well, especially in a society like Singapore where there are so many different races and religions. So, thank you!